All right, welcome to Scratch. This is a really good introduction into programming. It's going to use a lot of the things that we're going to be relying on later on, like ifs and forever loops, repeat untils, things that are going to start events, like when space is pressed. And what's going to become super important later on is making a variable and making a list. For now, we're just going to be concerned with motion, events, and control. Those three are really going to be the key for this first packet. So what I want to do is first, when I create a new file, by going here and going new file, the first thing I want to do is rename it. I'm going to do glide across the screen. Okay, so in this challenge you have to glide over here, glide up, glide, but we also want our cat to rotate, so his feet are always on the edge. Well, one of the most important things we can do is this green flag means that's like the start of the program, right? So I want some initial conditions. So like if my cat's over here, when the program starts, I want it to begin right here. And then I also want the user to control something. So when space is pressed, I want something to happen. So here's my cat. And what I want to do is I want to take that cat, and when space is pressed, look at my moves for motion. And I'm going to use this glide block. So just like in math class, right in here, you can see down here, they tell me what the coordinates are. You can see somewhere around here is 0, 0, right? AKA the origin, right? And then as I go left here, now I'm in like the negative, negative zone. So you can see right now our cat is at negative 194, negative 123. But when I slide him over here, watch how all the values on the change, right? 195, negative 123, right? So if I want him to go from here to here, the first thing I want him to do is I'm going to have him start here, and he's going to glide there, right? So let's watch how that works. I start the program when space is pressed. He glides, right? Now what I want him to do is to glide up to the top. So I put him up on the top and I change the glide like that. Okay. So to start a program, we click that, press space, and he glides and glides. Now it's getting annoying to have to drag him to the starting position every time. So when this is clicked, I want him to immediately go there. So I'm going to put this go to, and I'm going to say, hey, right there is a good spot for you to start. That way, if he starts right here, when I click the flag, he lines up perfectly, and I can just press space bar and get him going. So that whole idea of initial conditions is going to be so key later on, right? Okay, one of the key things I want him to do now is I want him to go here, and I want him to turn so he's facing up. Now, there's two ways to achieve this result. One of them, I can have him, after he goes there, in between these two moves, I can have him turn 90 degrees. So let's see how that plays. That'll work. Or I can have him, so now when I set the initial conditions, I don't have him pointing in the correct direction. So I want him to point in like he's facing right when I start. So now when I click, see how he like ended like that? Now when I click the restart, he'll be in the correct direction in the correct spot, so he can do his little trick for us, right? Instead of the turn block, I can also use the point in and have him point up. Okay. There's lots of things you can do with the sprite itself. These two buttons up here are pretty crucial. They're the shrink and grow one. So if I click that, I can shrink him down a whole bunch. And so now when he starts, he's there, and he glides like that, right? You can also do the opposite and I misclicked. Make him grow. In the info thing, there's also a rotation style. Right now, he can rotate 360 like this, right? But if I have him as a left-right character, the more I have him rotate, right? If he's rotating, 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 it'll only be, he's like a left, he can only go left and right, right? So you can see that this compass here on the bottom, and you can see when this is on the right side, he's facing right and left. So you can do it like that, or have him fixed, right? So these three are crucial. And that's the Scratch basics. I think you should be able to do the rest of the project from there.